What's going on, everybody? It's What's the Lock podcast coming back again for Week 10 picks and predictions. A lot of great games last week. A lot of underdogs won last week, and it was a good week of football overall. I mean, just the season's been pretty crazy. I feel like just quickly, I feel like no teams have really kind of like jumped out to a huge Super Bowl favorite. Like I feel like it's pretty even across the league. But any quick thoughts before I'll kind of go in. I'll review a score, like quick scores and stuff like that. Anything you want to kind of say before we get kind of going?
No, I'll save it for obviously we'll go over the trade deadline stuff.
Yes. Yep.
A lot of stuff that happened with that, but um,
Quick recap of last week. We got Thursday night football. Right, we had the Ravens against the Dolphins. Obviously, the Ravens absolutely smacked the Dolphins. That was pretty bad. We got the Vikings. They beat the Lions. That was a pretty
yeah,
convincing
big
win.
upset.
That was a big upset. So the Vikings, they were on the road on that game as well. So that's definitely something to keep in mind going forward. Patriots ended up winning against the Falcons, which was kind of a crazy outcome as well. The Falcons had a chance to win at the very end. They literally missed a PAT to go into overtime. So they literally had a chance to win, and somehow they missed that extra point and they lost the game. So that's why the final score was 24-23. Steelers upset the Colts at home. Most people were talking about that this week. I know that was a big story, and we'll kind of get more into that. But big win at home for the Steelers. Broncos ended up edging out the Texans. Now that was kind of a close game. I feel like the Texans could have won that game if they had C.J. Stroud, but at the end of the day, the Broncos won, so it is what it is. But Stroud did leave that game in like the first or second quarter with a concussion, so he's likely not going to be playing this week as well.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
get
he was
more into
ruled
that
out.
again.
I mean, it was a pretty
Yeah.
bad. I mean, you could tell he got his lights knocked out of him. He'll probably be out for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
and yeah, that's so he'll probably be out. Panthers upset the Packers on the road. That was a big upset again. Packers continue to show that they just continue to play up to their competition, up to the level of their competition, and no better. Sometimes worse. um, and then you got the Chiefs. That was a big game. Chiefs lose to the Bills. That was a big win for the Bills. I'm happy about that. Um,
yeah, defense stepped up
Seahawks.
big time.
Yep, that was a good game. Seahawks roll the Commanders. That was a freaking that was just terrible by the Commanders. I mean, Commanders. We kind of talked. I mean, I feel like we were both kind of fading the Commanders earlier in the year, and they're finally starting to come around into the team that we knew that we feel that we knew they kind of were. Now they're looking at 3-6, and it gets no easier this week, and we'll get into that. Jaden Daniels also is out. He's out for indefinitely at this
Well,
point.
I think they
Most
did
people
announce
thought,
that there's no surgery needed. It's pretty much a pop back in place and let it heal. He
yeah.
could be back in 4 weeks or
No,
so.
yeah, that's still a
So
pretty significant amount of time. And at this point in the season, it's like the Commanders are 3-6. I mean, even when he does come back, it's like they're pretty cooked this year. So that was like a very quick recap of last week. As Justin mentioned, we did have a bunch of trades go on. The trade deadline was on Tuesday. And we had a bunch of big trades. The biggest trade of them all, and we can kind of quickly talk about it, is Sauce Gardner to the Colts. He went for 2 first-round picks, which I think the freaking Colts got fleeced out of that. I mean, they just 2 first-rounders. That's insane to give up for Sauce Gardner. They're just pretty much pushing all the chips all in at this point, in my opinion. They think they're going to go win a Super Bowl this year, so it'll be interesting to see how he turns out. But what are your thoughts on that?
yeah, that was definitely one of the big ones. It
We
seems like the
can,
Jets are pretty much clearing house at this point. I don't really think they
yeah,
care about what happens. it's pretty much what they've been doing for the past decade, and it's just rebuilding. But the rebuild hasn't really started yet because they're trying to figure out what the first building block of that rebuild is, um, which really starts at the quarterback. And they just haven't found anything. So at this point, they're just stacking up picks. Looking towards younger draft players, which I guess time will tell. But time hasn't been very good to them.
Yeah, I think the Jets won that trade,
Oh
in my
yeah,
opinion. But we'll
you
see.
think
We'll
so?
see how Sauce Gardner
I
is. I
mean,
mean, if
they
he
traded
plays
for a
really good.
receiver, and honestly, that's probably the one thing they don't really need because they have a number one receiver. Adonai Mitchell has shown like some good, but also some bad. They don't have a quarterback to throw to him yet, so it's like I don't know if I love that trade that much. I think the Colts made out on it because I mean, out of all the games, like Colts have been in some shootouts, and this could, I mean, if Sauce Gardner goes back to the way he played, 2 years ago, um, I definitely think that'll give a big boost and probably avoid some shootouts and make a little
Yeah.
more, uh, less of a close game when it comes to those shootout games. But
Yeah, ultimately for him, I feel like it's just going to come down to how he plays. But I mean, off rip without any games played, I mean that's two first rounders for any player is absolutely insane. I mean, I don't even think Micah Parsons was about that. I mean, are we comparing? And I know these are different positions, but I mean, Micah Parsons was Defensive Player of the Year. You know, I mean, he's
yeah, I guess that's the
like
one thing is the first round picks definitely help.
two first
Um,
rounders for Sauce Gardner, who
yeah.
really hasn't proven that much since his rookie year, is just pretty insane to me. But anyways, the Jets also traded away Quinnen Williams. The Cowboys picked him up actually right after they lost against on Monday night. Who did they play against on Monday night?
The Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals. Yes. Yeah.
Jacoby
So
Brissett pieced them up.
yeah, that was bad. Their defense just is really bad. And then the Cowboys also picked up Logan Wilson, which I two players on the Cowboys. That's not going to move the needle for me. Two out of their whole squad that they need for on defense. So I don't think that moves it for me. But especially with all the injuries they have, I mean, the other thing is what's crazy to me is the Cowboys are super taxed in the secondary.
Yeah, I
And
was
what do
just
they
thinking
go
the
pick
same
up?
thing. I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah,
Like they're
what
getting
do they go
smoked
pick
in
up?
the
A middle
passing game. The
linebacker and
running
a D
game's like,
tackle.
yeah, the running game's hit and miss. The passing game was getting shredded. Like Marvin Harrison had easily his best game of the season with a backup quarterback, and I mean they've been getting shredded in the secondary all year long, dude. Like
Yeah.
going for trading a defensive tackle for another defensive tackle and then a linebacker. I mean, what's that going to help you when teams are throwing backup quarterbacks at you that are throwing for
Yeah.
250? That's
Yeah.
not going to help.
I don't understand it. I think at this point it just feels like it's Jerry's world, and whatever Jerry Jones says, it goes, and it is what it is,
You know
man.
what the funny part is? Like the day before, I think it was the day. It was the day before. It was right after the game. He said in a press conference, so like he was kind of hyping up that he had a trade working or like a trade to announce the next day. And he was super hyped for it. He was, trying to build hype around it. It ended up just being Logan Wilson, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's
like I thought
crazy.
it was gonna be some like crazy blockbuster. Nah, it was that's it, dude. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a
crazy.
joke.
I don't think that's going to move the needle on the Cowboys defense. I still
No,
think they're going to
no,
be
not at
a
all.
bottom tier unit. And yeah, we learned this. I learned my lesson. I'll be honest. I did have the Cowboys -3. I thought they would actually, because I didn't have faith in the Cardinals either. But that defense definitely proved me wrong on Monday night. So,
Yeah, that was bad,
um,
dude. I mean, maybe Jacoby. I mean, Jacoby Brissett has had a history of like weird insanity runs where he just kind of
yeah.
goes and he tears up a couple games. Maybe that's what we're seeing, but maybe his. I mean, it's just small sample size, but then Dallas defense doesn't make it any better. But jeez,
Yeah. Another big trade I thought was, and I think this will actually work out pretty well. I can barely say his name right.
Rashid Shaheed, yeah.
Shaheed, yes, to the Seahawks. I mean, I don't know if you looked at his press conference, but he looked really happy to be there. Like he almost wanted to get out of New Orleans,
I mean, I
and
would too. You're going from bottom tier to Seattle, who's what I think they were number one ranked team in the power rankings this week. So
yeah,
going to the
he's got
number
some
one
more
team.
weapons, and he's not going to be relied on. Got to, yeah. I mean, I think that could work out well for them overall. So good pickup by them, and then Jalen Phillips to the Eagles. That was a kind of a big one. I feel like Jalen Phillips is a good player, but the Dolphins defense has just not been good, and then on top of that, the Dolphins offense hasn't been good. So when you're putting the defense out there more than it has to be, then you're going to tire your guys out, and they're not going to look as good. So I feel like Jalen Phillips is he's a good player. I think that was a good pickup, but we'll have to see kind of how he looks in an Eagles uniform. But I think that was most of the big trades. Did I miss any, Justin?
I don't know if
Most of the big ones.
this might have happened when we did our last pod, but Jair Alexander, another person who got
Oh
traded
yeah, that's right.
to
Yeah,
Philly.
that's right. I forgot about that one.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, those were the two big ones. There are some like other little ones. Jacoby Myers went to Jacksonville. That's another one for a fourth and a sixth round pick, which is pretty big. With Jaguars having wide receiver issues, BTJ has been dropping passes. He doesn't look like he did last year. Um, but Jacoby Myers has been pretty solid throughout his career. I mean, he's not like uh, you know a
Yeah,
huge player, but I
at
mean
the end of
he's
the day, I
definitely
feel
one
like
you can rely on
yeah,
to catch a ball.
I think he'll be a good pickup for the Jaguars. Um, like I agree, I think he'll be a good pickup, but I still feel like I have a question about Trevor Lawrence. I'm still not like sold on him yet. So I'm like, I'm not sure if that puts them on over the hump. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, I
at
mean
this point, they're kind of
he
trying to
was
get
a
in the
receiver
playoffs.
one for the last 2 years. So I mean he's got that under his belt. And I don't think it was that bad. I mean, granted, you have one of, if not, I mean, probably a top three tight end on the same team. So obviously targets are going to be limited a little bit, but at the same time, he was fine. Like he's young. He's still young. He's got some experience. I don't hate the trade. They didn't give up a ton for him either. So not the
At the end of
worst
the
thing
day,
in the
I think
world.
that's going to just turn. That's just going to be a. I think it's just going to depend on how Trevor Lawrence looks.
Yeah,
Maybe
yep.
it should help him, but and there should be no excuses at this point for Trevor Lawrence not to be able to perform and not to be able to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I do like Jacoby. I mean, I like if let's say Trevor Lawrence was a decent quarterback and he plays decent at least, I like the trade. They didn't give much out for him, and again, he's a receiver. He's a receiver one for the last 2 years, so I
Yeah.
don't hate it at all. But yeah, those are pretty much it for the big ones.
All right. Yeah, and then I think that was pretty much it.
We did have a Thursday night
Obviously we'll get
game.
him. Yeah.
Raiders
Oh
at
yeah.
Broncos. It was a very
God,
low
that was.
scoring game.
God, do we even have to talk about that one? I mean, that
Bo
was a
Nix
shitter.
sucked. Both teams sucked. I'll just put it that way. Both teams sucked. It
That was
was
a shitter game,
probably the
dude.
worst Thursday night game, and you could probably go into it. I mean, and just going into the game, just before you even watch the game, like it was, you could this. I mean, just it wasn't appealing. Like just a team. I don't know why this game was a primetime game. Um, I mean, theoretically, the Raiders shouldn't be on any primetime games. I get every team has to have one, but geez, I mean, going into this game, I kind of expected it to be a crappy game, and it really lived up to that.
Yeah, that was terrible. And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
that was
mean,
bad.
the Broncos to me are just they have one of the league's best defenses. I have to give them that, but that offense, I just don't know down the
Yeah, I
stretch
mean,
how
Bo
it's
Nix
going.
forgot to take his sleeping shades off. He was missing receivers all over the place. Geno Smith was being Geno. I mean, geez, even Brock Bowers had probably his season low. I mean, it was really bad. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Broncos are just skating by against teams that really they shouldn't be skating by. I mean, when you're playing against the Texans with no CJ Stroud, you're playing against the Raiders who haven't been able to get anything going at all this year. Have they won a game?
Yeah, I think every team has won a game at this point.
Okay, so they maybe won one game, and I mean that's a team you should. I mean, I get it's a division rival, it's prime time, but like if you just hold up roster to roster, you should be skating by that team, and to have it be that low, like they couldn't get anything going. Like Bo Nix was probably had his worst game, and luckily for them,
Yeah.
they lost or they won. But I mean, probably his worst game, just from a quarterback standpoint. It was ugly.
Yeah. So, with that, I guess we can move into the Sunday games. We'll remember some stuff from talk last week, and we'll bring up some stuff. But
We do have an
we can kind of move
early.
in.
I think this is the last overseas game of the year. Am I right on that? It might be.
I
Um,
honestly don't know.
I feel like it's late in the season. I feel like this is late in the season for one, but yeah, there is an
It could be.
early overseas game. I think this Germany. This Germany.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It's in Berlin.
Falcons and Colts. Colts are obviously heavy favorites by a touchdown, 6.5. Um,
What are your thoughts on it?
well, I agree with that. I do think the Colts will end up winning this, especially after um I think Sauce Gardner is going to fit in. I don't. I mean, their offense is good enough to where even just that slight little like nudge will help. And Falcons are such an on and off team. Um, I almost feel like they play worse in prime time. I could be maybe I'm tripping, but
The
I
Falcons?
definitely. And I guess is this prime time? Does this count as prime time?
No, no, it's not prime. Prime time is
Yeah,
like past 6
nights.
p.m. Yeah,
This is like a half prime time. I like the Colts
it's
here.
a weird game though because it's overseas. It is a weird game. It's a weird spot. I'll
The
get
only thing is, I don't love the 6.5, just because like Falcons
yeah.
almost pulled it off against the Patriots, and Patriots is a up and coming team right now. Um,
Mhm.
and I think the Patriots were home last week too, so they did that in Foxborough. So that's in itself is pretty good. So I don't love the touchdown, but I'm pretty confident that they'll probably pull the win out. I can't see with the Colts how they've been going to win or to lose two in a row. I just don't see it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be honest. Earlier in the week, and actually, before I even say what I'm about to say, let me give you the quick injury updates. So for the Falcons, and these are all outs. Storm Norton, he's the offensive tackle for the Falcons. He's out. Matthew Bergeron, I'm not sure. He's also out. He's their guard, and then Leonard Floyd, their edge rusher, is out. And then on the Colts side, I think these are kind of bigger injuries in a way, I guess. Anthony Gold, the receiver, is out. DeForest Buckner, D tackle, is out, and Samson Ebukam is out, and also Tyquan Lewis. So three defensive linemen are out in this game for the Colts. So now, for me, yeah, like it's an overseas spot. It's a weird game. I actually lean towards the 6.5 for the Falcons.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with
Colts
that.
defense hasn't been super impressive lately. I mean, even looking, and I'm not gonna really hold them too accountable for last week because every team has a bad game and they kind of got punched in the face last week. But honestly, their defense hasn't been that impressive. They're not even in the top 15 as far as overall defensive efficiency. They're giving up 331 yards per game, all-purpose yards. They're about 17th ranked, so they're very mid-tier defense. And I just think in this spot, so the thing is, the Falcons have been dealing with a lot of injuries. Last week they were dealing. Michael Penix was out. Drake London's been dealing with an injury. He's coming back this week. So I think with the guys coming back with for the Falcons, they're coming off a couple of tough games. I think they're hungry to get back into the win column here, and they're going to come out kind of guns blazing here. So I actually like the Falcons plus 6.5. Or you can also do Falcons team total over. I don't mind that. Actually, let me check on the total for that really quick. 'Cause
Probably pretty.
I didn't. But
It might be
team
low.
total over, you're getting 20.5. So I think they can hit that at -112. Yeah, I think that's a decent line. But I like the Falcons here, at least on the spread side of things. And then as far as a pick, give me the Falcons. I'll take the Falcons on a pick. Yeah, I think they can get it done here on the in a road-ish game. Technically, it's a road game, but it's not really a road game. Yeah, I mean, it's a road game for both teams. So, yeah, I'll take the dog team.
Yeah, I I'm gonna pick the Colts, but I don't. I'm probably not gonna bet like a money line or anything on this, just because the way Falcons looked last week. Drake London looked fucking great last week. I think he had 3 touchdown catches,
Yeah,
which is insane. And again, that's where Sauce Gardner would come in, but it's also his first week with the team. You don't know how much time he's had. What, 3 days, 4 days to learn a full playbook.
yeah.
Uh, I don't love
Well,
that. So
and I don't even know if that's really. I mean, it could be a concern. I don't know what his. I mean, I don't know what his. Job is going to be. I don't know if he's going to be,
I mean, it's
lining up
totally
against
different because he's
London.
going from a defensive-minded head coach to an offensive-minded head coach. So it's like a completely different
Yeah, we
world
just
with him
don't know
now.
how he's going to be used. I mean, is he going to be just following Drake London the whole time, or I don't know. I mean, you could see a lot of different things, but I mean, it's for me. I think the Falcons just have a lot of talent on that offense, and and not to mention the Falcons' defense, by the way. Yeah, I think the Falcons, honestly, their level of competition has not been the best. But up to this point, the Falcons actually have the 4th overall ranked defense statistically. They're giving up only a 282 yards of offense per game. So,
I will say
I mean,
with
I'll
the
take the better defense too.
yeah, I will say with the addition of Sauce Gardner and the fact that the Colts are their injury report consists of 3 all defensive tackles.
Yeah,
I think Bijan Robinson's a no-brainer here.
yeah.
Um, for at the very least a touchdown. You could probably, if you were that person who does like a couple of like 2+ touchdowns, I would throw Bijan Robinson right up there. Um, because yeah, I think he's primed for a big game here, whether they win or lose.
Yeah, I just feel like the Colts in that move. I feel like they just kind of put, like I said earlier, they kind of just went all in, and it's like 2 first rounders for one corner that you think is going to go and bring you to the Super Bowl. I mean, is it that one player that really is going to move the needle? Like, I don't know, man. I mean, that feels like a lot to ask. But we'll see. I mean, if he looks good, maybe I'm wrong. But I like the Falcons here in this spot, and I don't think that's a direct correlate. I'm not saying that because I'm not saying I like the Falcons just because of the trade they made this week. I think that's an added cause of that. I just think it's like it kind of added to that. I don't know, man. I feel like I don't think they're gonna downward spiral. I still think the Colts are a good team overall, but I don't see that being like moving the needle for them,
Yeah.
down the stretch. So, anyways, next game we'll move into the
This one I'm
Sunday.
throwing. I'm going to tell you right now. The next game I'm throwing the money line. I know it's minus. I do my money line parlay every week. This is going right there. I know it's minus 550, but Bills at Dolphins, dude. You go ahead and
Yeah,
talk about it because it's your team.
yeah. I mean, Bill's coming off a
Jeez,
great
that
win.
over is crazy.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I think they think
50
that
and a
both teams are
half?
going to score. Yeah, 50.5. I mean, I feel like that's a mid to high total.
There's a
It's not
there's a
crazy.
chance the Dolphins walk away with under 10 points. I mean,
I mean,
you're
we've
asking
seen
the Bills
50s.
to score 40.
Yeah, I mean, no,
That's absurd.
we've seen 60 point totals before, with like Lions games and shit. I think, to me, well, let
I
me
hate
go over
that.
the injuries really quick too before we go into things too much. For the Bills, AJ Epinesa is out. Shaq Thompson is out. Questionable is Josh Palmer. He did practice. It was limited practice for him this week. Daquan Jones, I believe he did not practice this week. He's the defensive tackle. Christian Benford, he did not practice this week, so he I don't know if he'll play. And then Teron Johnson, I did not check on him. I didn't even see him on the injury report before. I guess now he is. So I'm assuming he's going to play because he was good last week. And I didn't even see him on the injury report until now. But So I don't know what's going on with him, but he's listed as questionable right now. So on the Dolphins side, so out is going to be Dwayne Eskridge, and we know. I mean, I'm not naming guys on IR, so keep that in mind. Doubtful is going to be Rasul Douglas, Ollie Gordon, their running back, Julian Hill, Ashton Davis is a safety. Fudu, yeah, so they have a couple guys on just questionable. I don't think they're big names. But doubtful is Rasul Douglas, which is their corner, and then one of their linebackers and wide receivers. So for me, I mean, yeah, the Bills are the better team here. They're coming off a big win against the Chiefs, where I think honestly, like people, um, and I feel like it's just media or whatever, but I don't think people are giving enough credit to how the defense played last week. The Bills defense, I mean, really kind of shut down Mahomes last week. They found a way to stop him and get pressure on him. And that was without Ed Oliver, too, in the game. And I think that was just overall a great defensive performance. I know Sean McDermott is mostly calling the plays on that defense. And we also saw that Maxwell Harrison is a guy that really can run speed for speed with the best of them. I mean, he is a fast motherfucker. He was the running stride for stride with Xavier Worthy, and both of those motherfuckers are fast. So, and he even got a pick on one play. So, I mean, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. I think the Bills have, a big upside with them. 9.5 is a big number on the road, so I'm not really. I don't like betting my team anyways, but that seems like a little bit too like a big total. So I don't know if I would lay the 9.5, but it's definitely Bills for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I mean, obviously the Dolphins. We know about the Dolphins. They're downward spiraling. They're kind of like the Jets at this point.
Yeah.
I think what makes it worse for the Dolphins, I think their owner is an idiot. So at least the Jets owner made a decent trade. So the GM or whatever, I think the GM actually got fired. So I think it was the owner that actually made that trade. So props to him.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take James Cook as far as player props.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think this is gonna be easy. I think the Bills are gonna have the
I will
lead
say
for the most part, and
one thing I will say, James Cook wasn't on the injury report, but he is dealing with an ankle, so that is something to watch this week. I don't know if they're gonna, I think if he plays, I don't know if they're going to, take down his usage or try to kind of favor it a little bit. Because he was dealing with an ankle last week. He almost came out of the game, but obviously he's not going to come out of the game unless he's, dying.
he also
In
had
the
a
Chiefs
monster
game.
game,
So
didn't he?
yeah, no, he played well. I don't,
Yeah.
but
I'm
he has been
assuming
dealing with
not
that
being
this
on the
week. So
injury report, I'm assuming it was probably like
I think he'll be good.
maybe
But just keep an
extended a
eye
little
on it.
bit, like twisted a little bit. It's probably fine.
Yeah. No, and the other thing is, I do like that because the other thing is Josh Allen. I think rushed for 2 touchdowns last week. I definitely don't see him doing that again. I think in this game where they know they're the better team and they're,
They're probably going to
I
be
think,
up,
yeah, I
to the
don't think
point where
he's
they're
going to need
running
to
the
rush in
clock
for
a little bit.
touchdowns. Yeah, they should be
Um,
able to just run the football, but
but yeah, that's going to be the first money line. Again, minus 550. I'm just doing it just to do a money line parlay for fun. Next game is going to be a good one. I actually
yep.
think this should be America's game of the week in my opinion. Especially with the Vikings pulling off the upset they did, but it is
There's a couple. I'll say that there's a couple good games. There is a couple good games, but yeah, Ravens Vikings. It's not a bad
um
game.
yeah. So I did this. So the thing I'm more curious about, the Vikings defense obviously is going to be the make or break. I think Vikings can do some damage against the Ravens defense. I think everybody can agree with that. The question is, what is the Vikings going to do to um, Lamar Jackson? And one thing I'm realizing is the Vikings play a bit worse against quarterbacks who tend to run and scramble out of the pocket a lot. Um,
Mhm.
and for example, and I'm going to compare it to quarterbacks who like to stand in the pocket. Obviously, we'll start with last week, Jared Goff. They were able to squeeze out the win, and they actually played pretty well for the most part against the Lions. I mean, they weren't able to get much going on offense. It was um, uh, they played the defense looked pretty good against Jared Goff, I'd say. Uh,
Yeah.
and then Justin Herbert, who does like to run a lot. You see Justin Herbert, especially this year. Jesus, I mean, he's had like a couple of 50-plus rushing yard games. Um, Blew him out of the water. It was Chargers 137-10. Uh, Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Eagles won that game. Then you go to the Browns, who don't really have a quarterback, and I think at this point it was um, I don't know. I don't think it was Joe Flacco, but the other dude, what was his name? Dylan, whatever the freak. He doesn't run a lot
Dylan
either.
Gabriel.
And yeah, and you know, Vikings won that game. Um, Bengals. At this point, I think this was Joe Burrow. Actually, no, it was Jake Browning. Again, not a running quarterback, and obviously not much of a worry. 48-10. Like so, they tend to play a little bit worse against quarterbacks with mobility. So my question is, how are they going to be able to adjust to probably the biggest running quarterback who runs probably just as much as he throws, in my opinion. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
that's uh, exaggeration, but it's Lamar Jackson. So what are they going to do to stop Lamar Jackson? And Lamar Jackson coming off of obviously a big game. He didn't really pass. He had 4 touchdown passes, but he had like under 200 passing yards. I'm not sold on that. I mean, yeah, you could throw a couple of 2 yard touchdown pass. That's cool.
Well, yeah, yeah, and like the
I'm not.
thing is, like it feels like obviously Lamar missed some time, and during that time the Ravens struggled. But when the Ravens struggle with Lamar, it's when he's pressured, and you have to get pressure on him. And
Vikings have
um,
been very good with that. The Vikings have been. They have some shooters on that on the pass rush. I mean, they got
they
Andrew Van
do,
Ginkel and Javon Hargrave, who also recorded a sack last week. They got some heavy hitters on that defense. So
I will say there are for injuries there are no players listed for the Ravens and the Vikings. They have a couple injuries, but it's Jeff Okuda. He's out for the game, and then Aaron Jones is questionable for the game. So not a
again,
huge
which
ton
I
of
wouldn't be running
injuries.
against the Ravens anyways. Their secondaries where you would want to attack, and they have Jordan Mason. So even if
The
they
other
wanted
thing
to
is
set it up, it's
we've seen the Ravens defense kind of you know uh, improve a little bit.
it
They
was against
didn't
the
look very
Dolphins.
good.
I'm not. Again, I'm gonna stay away from saying anything like that. This is against the
Uh,
Dolphins. So
yeah,
yeah,
but I do think they have some talented corners, and I actually think the trade giving away Jared Alexander was good because he was getting cooked. But well, I mean, we'll see. I ultimately I do think like with the spread, I think it's a little bit too high. 3.5. I think it's actually. Let me see what the opening line is because I actually wrote all these totals down on Sunday. This line actually it did open at 3.5, so I think 3.5 is a little too much for the Ravens right now. But I'm on the Ravens side as far as a pick because I just think, yeah, with what you said, like I think Lamar and Derrick Henry are going to be able to run around this defense, and Lamar Jackson, literally, like I just said, he has not struggled against any defense besides when he's getting pressured and when he's getting really just getting pressured and got people in his face. So if they can't do that, they're going to get cooked. And we saw what Lamar Jackson did last week. He had 4 touchdowns. I'm not saying he does that again, but I think that offense is very good. So and they're favored for a reason. So yeah. So you're so what side are you on? Are you on the Vikings?
no, I'm on the Ravens. But
Ravens pick, but
it's
not the
tough.
spread.
Yeah, I'm not gonna parlay it. I'm not gonna trust it. Like this game, honestly, in my opinion, especially with the Vikings at home, could go either way. Um, in my opinion, because again, the Vikings do have an upper hand. In my opinion, they have a better defense than the Ravens. So you know, it's the Vikings defense versus Baltimore's offense. In my opinion, that's gonna be the matchup of the game. What can the Vikings do to their offense. Because I definitely think the Vikings will be able to move the ball. Um, and the one thing that's been going for them is they've been actually this year, as opposed to a lot of last year, they're actually focusing on getting Justin Jefferson the ball early. Um,
Yeah.
and getting him the ball often. Where last year I kind of saw more. I feel like for the most part I was seeing more Jordan Addison and other people getting the ball. You know, I was seeing their third string tight ends get the ball before Justin Jefferson got a target last year. I'm not seeing that this year, which is good.
Yeah.
Um, and you even see Justin Jefferson getting touchdowns now, which is also cool. So it's like I think they could move the ball. Um, as far as I like for player props, I definitely like Justin Jefferson here. I think they're going to continue to do it, and like I said, I think they're going to be able to move the ball. I think they're going to move the ball. I tempted to take the over. I think that's
Mm.
very likely too. And like I said, and like you said, I think Lamar Jackson will probably be able to run a little bit as well. So I like the
Yeah.
over.
Okay. All right. What's the next one? Uh,
Patriots at the Bucks.
oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. I actually think this could be one of the better games on the slate
Yeah,
here.
this is another good game for sure.
Um, so I'm on the Buccaneers personally. At home.
Two and a half
Baker.
isn't bad either. That's not a horrible line.
I don't think we really got to see it much last week. We got to see it a little bit, but the I know Kirk Cousins was playing in that game. I think against this secondary, I think the Patriots secondary is definitely there's room for improvement there. I think they could be exposed a little bit there. The only problem is, and I will say, I found this earlier this week. I can't remember what stream I was watching, but the Patriots do play a pretty good amount of man coverage. And I will say Baker has struggled mightily against man coverage this year. And if you didn't think that was bad enough, Emeka Egbuka against man coverage, he's only averaging about 2 yards per catch against man coverage. So you really want to see those numbers go up, especially because the Patriots do play a decent amount of man coverage. So I still like the Buccaneers because I still think their defense can get a good stop against the Patriots. Problem with the Patriots is they're gonna want to run. They're gonna want to try to pass the ball around. So it's going to come down to just defense getting stops. I actually, for the total, I like the over in this one more than anything. I think both teams can put up some points in this one. But I still like the home team in this one. I like the Buccaneers personally from the pick side. Betting wise, I don't have anything yet on this game, but I might play some TD props in this one. Just like we'll see kind of what I do, but I might just do like a TD prop for some Buccaneers players, maybe even Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, actually, I agree. I don't hate the line either. It's a field goal. That's not bad at all. Um, yeah, I think the Bucks
The
can
other thing with the
do
Patriots
some
is like,
damage.
like, I don't know if this receiver core, like, I know they've had some good weeks, but like, Stephon Diggs is their number one receiver, and yeah, he's had some good games, but like, is he like really a number one receiver still? Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be that consistent down the stretch. He's had a lot of injuries lately. He's getting older, and when that happens to receivers, you see decline. It's always happened,
Especially with
and
the
has will
off-field
continue to
issues.
happen. So I just don't know. Yeah, he's got multiple baby moms
He's got
now.
like three kids on the way right
God
now.
damn,
Three
dude, just.
different people.
I mean, we need to tell this guy to close his legs a little bit here.
Yeah,
But
dude, I don't know, dude, bro. It's funny. Like, like, how do you explain that to like each and every one of them? Like, hey, yo, I have a kid with this girl, and now I have a kid with this girl. Bro. Like, oh,
oh
that's
well.
funny. And Cardi B still attended the game too.
Yeah, sitting
She has no
with Robert
shame.
Kraft.
She was a stripper. She's fine. She's used to it.
Yeah. So just insane, but like I said, for this receiver core, like I'm not
I'm gonna
really
take
sold on it.
Emeka
Um,
Egbuka for a touchdown. I think on this one. Yeah, I definitely think it could be a relatively high scoring game. Again, that's why I was saying.
and actually one more quick thing I just wanted to say also because I forgot I took this down. Drake May last week also against the Falcons. Now keep in mind Falcons have a very good pass rush, but May was sacked 6 times last week, and he also threw a pick. He didn't have a great week last week, so I just wanted to note that. I mean, he was getting pressured and he was getting hit. So don't know how that'll play into this week,
And
but
Tampa
just
Bay has
wanted
a
to
good fan
note that.
base. They kind of have an underrated fan base. And as of late, they've been kind of showing up a little bit more. So you're entering a relatively hostile environment coming from a home game where you didn't play as good. So yeah, I don't hate the Buccaneers in this spot either, for sure. Next
Um,
game is Giants at Bears. Bears
ugh.
are 4.5 point favorites. I don't know if I love the spread, but I am pretty confident. I actually like the Bears here, and I'm actually gonna put it in my money line. Obviously, Giants are kind of they're doing what the Giants do, and they're kind of like going on a downward spiral. Whereas Chicago Bears have actually had some life lately, and I love what Ben Johnson's doing with the offense. I mean, he's doing what he did in Detroit. He's mixing things up. He's doing all these wildcats, and they work. Like they're well thought out plays that work. You see, Caleb Williams caught a touchdown last week, or was it last week? Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
And then you see people, like receivers throwing passes to Roma Dunze, and I mean, it's working. Like it looks good. Like it's
Yeah.
meshing. They're winning games with it. They're winning games. I mean, they put up. I mean, granted, it's the Bengals, you know, defense, but they put up 47 on them. I mean, that's a lot of points. I
Yeah.
mean, they've looked good. So I
Yeah.
actually like the
Offensively,
Bears at home
they
here.
look good. Yeah. Offensively, they look good. I just feel, and
Their
I'm on the
defense
side of the
isn't
Bears
great, but the
too.
Giants, with all the injuries that
Right. Right.
I
That's
yeah,
exactly. That's pretty much where I'm at in this game. I like. Yeah. The Bears. I'm on the side of the Bears, but
I
it
think we
would
just
not
have to
surprise me.
accept that this is where the Giants start to go down. It's a yearly occurrence. It's just a matter of detecting when it happens. Uh, I
It
detected
also
it the
wouldn't
second
surprise
Cam
me one
Skadwoo's
bit
ankle
if
went
the
sideways. So
yeah, but it also wouldn't surprise me one bit if the Bears just shit the bed in this one and Jackson Dart looks like a saint. It also would
yeah,
not
I
surprise me
just I
at
don't
all.
see it. I think it's gonna come to a probably a more established team. Like with all the injuries on the Giant, I just don't trust it.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
betting it. I'm not betting the Bears, but I'm on the side of the
I'm
Bears.
actually pretty
Just
confident the Bears. I'm taking their money line. I'm putting in the pot. I'm pretty confident the Bears are going to handle
it
it.
just
I
feels like I don't know. It
like
feels like they're going to be that
if they're
one
putting up
team.
40 points. I don't think there's a chance in hell the Giants put up 40 points. I don't care what defense it is. I don't think they're putting up 40. Not right now. No. Uh, so yeah, I'm
Oh, actually, let me look at the injuries for this game really quick too. Oh, actually, I forgot about injuries for the Buccaneers Patriots game. Let me I'll quickly go over both the injuries really quick. So for the Bucks and Patriots game, out is going to be Bucky Irving still. Chris Godwin is out. I think he's been out.
shocker.
Hassan Reddick is out. And Marquise Watts is out. Questionable is Luke Gedke, which is their right tackle, and Luke Haggard, their right guard. And then for the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson is out.
That doesn't
Keishon
matter.
Boutte is out, and then Christian Ellis is out. So, I mean, for the Patriots, it doesn't really matter for the running back because they just pass the ball. But Keishon Boutte, I don't really know how much he does. So,
He's
and then
no,
for
he's a
the
pretty big piece of the offense, but I mean, they he does have those. He's like their play guy. Like I guess you could kind of compare him to like a Rashid Shaheed type of guy. Um, I feel like Patriots are going to be fine without him and Ramondre Stevenson. Hunter Henry gets the ball a lot. Stephon Diggs been getting the ball a lot. Um, they have younger talent. They still have Pop Douglas. I'm not too worried about that.
And then for the Giants and the Bears. So for the Giants, this is a lengthy list. Not to mention all their guys on IR: Bo Collins, wide receiver; John Michael, center; Chauncey Golston, D end; linebacker Victor. I don't even know how to say his last name. Darius Mwasu, Paulson Adebo, and Graham Gano is out. And then questionable for the Giants is Jermaine Illuminar, and then Javon Holland. For the Bears, we have Jade Walker, wide receiver, and then Dominic Robinson at the end. And then TJ Edwards is out with a hamstring, and then Josh Blackwell, their D back or their cornerback. So uh, got and then questionable for the Bears. DeAndre Swift is questionable, and then Durham Smith is also questionable. So quite a few injuries for both sides. But I mean, again, the Bears, it's Bears or nothing. I probably won't play it. I just don't have enough faith in the Bears. I feel like they're just that one team it's a parlay buster team. But anyways, next one we got the Saints and the Panthers. Panthers have been rolling.
Yeah, they have. At home, Saints
Yeah,
just lost one of their splash players as well. They're
yeah,
starting this rookie quarterback who hasn't shown much yet. Honestly, might have been a little bit of a step down from Spencer Rattler. I'm gonna be honest. Just as far as what I've seen. Whereas the Panthers, yeah, Panthers are kind of, and they started this little uprising last year. You know, they've had some. They started off with the promise when Bryce Young came back from that injury, and they put Andy Dalton back on the bench, and they kind of had a little life to him. Well, they're doing it again. And big win against the Packers last week. Obviously, the Panthers aren't quite the playoff team yet, but I definitely think they can handle a Saints team that just lost one of their key offensive players and just benched a quarterback for one that might be even worse. So I
yeah,
like the Carolina Panthers here. I'm
yeah.
probably gonna take the money line
I
for
like the
the.
money line here for the Panthers, and I also like the spread. Um, Rico Dowdle continues to
Yep.
do his thing.
Yeah, dude. What are they
Really,
doing? Like when Chuba Hubbard came back, they like completely wiped a lot of Rico Dowdle's touches, and then they brought him back when Chuba Hubbard got injured again, and dude has another monster game. I think they should
I think they're gonna
just
roll. I
bite the
think they're gonna
bullet
roll
and
with
call him the
Rico.
starter. Like the
Yeah, I
dude's a
think they're gonna
monster.
roll with Rico at this point.
I
Just
mean,
because
he's
he's
single
giving them a
handedly won
spark.
them games. Like I don't know why you would not keep him the starter.
Yeah,
To
I
be
think he'll
honest.
continue to be the starter there. Actually, I think last week he had a lot more touches. Chuba Hubbard only had 6 carries last
Yeah, I
week.
think he
So,
got injured early in the game, or
oh,
later
okay.
in the
Well,
game.
that'll
Yeah,
help his case even more.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is also the Panthers. Surprisingly, don't look now, but the Panthers have the 13th overall ranked defense. Uh, just overall and overall efficiency. They're allowing 316 yards per game overall. Um, so that I mean, obviously, and I think they've had a pretty decently tough schedule. So
Well,
I have
yeah.
to
I mean,
give
they just
them
played the
credit.
Packers.
Yeah, I have to give them credit. They played well, and 5.5. It is big, but I mean they are at home. I think there's no reason why they shouldn't win this game. I think it's Panthers or nothing here. So yeah, I like the
Yeah,
Panthers a
just
lot.
look at Rico Dowdle, and that's just another fumble from the Cowboys, man. Like
Yeah.
Cowboys,
No. Yeah.
another Jerry Jones, just absolute crappy ownership. Really, just another example.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Panthers did, put some good money and resources into their O line and D line this year. I think we mentioned that before the season started. They got significantly bigger and they got more depth there. So I think not that they're like a top tier unit or anything, but I mean they look good, man. I mean you have to give them
Next,
credit. I mean, they're 4-4. They're a good team.
yeah, for player props, I definitely like Rico Dowdle. I'd like to see him keep it going. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
outside of that, I like the money line. It's probably
Yeah,
like key
honestly, I
here.
don't mind even just just pairing the Panthers money line and a Rico Dowdle touchdown. Should get pretty decent plus odds for that.
That
I
might
like that.
that'll plus would do that. That should
Um,
make you plus money.
yeah, Panthers money line plus Rico Dowdle touchdown is plus 104 without a boost. So, um, yeah, you're good there.
Uh,
Next game, Browns
Next game's gonna be a
Jets.
doozy. Uh,
You can go first on this one.
I'll start with I probably would take the under. I know it's 37.5, but you know what?
Yeah,
Neither
I don't
team
mind
has an
that.
offense, and honestly, just don't have a defense. So I like the Browns here. They're favored away, and rightfully so. They have a better defense. The Jets just lost half of theirs, so um, yeah. I mean, I like the Browns here. Do I parlay it? Probably not, just because both teams suck, and it's really hard to gauge that. Um, I think the one thing I will take from this game is a Quinshon Judkins touchdown. He's been pretty good this year. Probably the one of their only highlights of their offense. Um, and obviously with the Jets losing Quinn Williams, I think Quinshon Judkins should find the end zone probably pretty early in the game too. You might actually see that be if you were a first touchdown scorer or better. I like that, but.
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of where you are. I won't play the Browns, but I do like the under though. Um,
I mean, he might
Under's
walk away
already
with the
pretty
only
low.
touchdown in the game. I mean, that's where I'm at here. I don't see
Yeah,
Justin Fields doing much against Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. I just don't see that.
yeah, I like the under in this one. I mean, 37.5. You can move it if you want to, but I really don't think either team is gonna have very much success here. Next one's going to be kind of a tough one too, defensively. At least for the Jaguars, it's going to be an interesting game because we said earlier, the Jaguars picked up what's his face from the Raiders. God, what was his name again? God, why do I
Jacoby Myers.
Kobe Myers? There we go. I mean, he's a decent receiver, but I just don't know. I said it earlier. I don't really know if that moves the needle for me.
I
So
will
I'm,
say,
yeah.
I might sound crazy. I don't hate the Jaguars yet. I'm actually gonna parlay the Jaguars, and I have a few reasons why. For one, Davis Mills did not look good, and I don't think he will. Um, he's working with. Just think of what C.J. Stroud was going. I mean, there was praise behind C.J. Stroud because he was doing it with a ton of injuries on the receiver core. And it's not like they're much better here now. Like they have Nico Collins, but I mean, really, all of that came from C.J. Stroud being able to be a half decent quarterback. You're taking a huge step down against a Jaguars team who has actually been able to win some games this year. I mean, it's not like they're the worst by any means. Um,
Yeah.
and again, with an added piece, I think Jacoby Myers will actually help a little bit. Give kind of a relief of BTJ and kind of give another focal point to the passing game. Um, yeah, I actually am pretty confident. They are favored by a very tiny bit away. I'm surprised they're not favored more. But yeah, I like the Jaguars here. Oh wait, yeah. They are favored.
I'm going to take the other side, only because I'm going to trust the defense here one more time. I think the Texans defense has been a top unit pretty much all year. And I just want to see it from Trevor Lawrence before I start laying it. And I
I mean,
don't
let's not
know
forget
too
the
much about this
Jaguars. I
kid
mean, this
David
is the same
Mills.
team that beat the Chiefs like a couple weeks ago. I mean, they've had some
Yeah, but
pretty decent wins under their belt, and Texans. I mean, one of their biggest wins was against the Lamar Jackson-less Ravens. It's
Yeah,
hard
I
to,
mean the
and
thing
now
is
with no
before
C.J.
before
Stroud,
Rasheed
it's
Rice came back, the Chiefs didn't really look that good through the first couple weeks, and we all knew that.
well, they didn't look
Um,
that great last week either.
no,
Button
I
had
mean they didn't look great, but
against the
I
Bills
still
defense that was struggling prior too. Chiefs are still. I'm not trusting the Chiefs yet either. I just want to point that out.
yeah
Their one good win with Rasheed Rice, but that I'm good on that. Like that's
yeah
fine, but
they certainly have some work to do. Yeah, I'm gonna just I guess to be different. I think this could go either way. Honestly, I could be
oh
wrong
yeah,
here, but I'm gonna
absolutely.
take the Texans. Just because I think with that defense, I think David Mills can find a way to get it done one week without C.J. Stroud, and for some reason I just don't have faith in this Jaguars team. Like
My
all the
only
way.
worry is they were
There's
hardly
certain
getting it done with
spots.
C.J. Stroud. I feel like just taking that big of a step back is just not great. But
Yeah,
yeah, again, the line is okay. Like the line is accurate. It's just my gut is telling me the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's why I'm adding it to the parlay. Is just
it's been
everything
back and
about this
forth.
is
This
screaming
line has been
Jaguars.
back and forth all week. The Texans were minus 125 at one point, and now it's flipped. So
And again, keep in mind
um,
Jaguars are
yeah,
away, so that's feeding into it. Like if
it's
the
been up and
Jaguars were
down all
home,
week.
they're heavy favorites. So
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
we
so
can go to the next
that's that. We can move on to the next one.
one. Next one, Arizona Cardinals at Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, Seahawks are heavy favorites. Touchdown by a touchdown, 7 points. The over, okay. Hear me out. I don't hate the over. Arizona Cardinals with Jacoby Brissett has proven they can score. They can score,
Yeah,
and they can move the ball. And granted, it was against the Dallas defense, and I forgot who did they win against before. Um, I don't
the
remember.
Cardinals.
Yeah,
Uh,
because Jacoby
doesn't
Brissett had a monster game against the team before too, and I don't remember who it was.
let me look
Was it the
back real quick.
Packers? What was the Packers?
Week 8. It was it was the last game before that was the Packers. And they
Yeah,
lost
okay,
it.
so it was the
They lost it
Packers.
by 4.
Yeah, I like the over in this game. I'll just start with that, especially with Seattle. I mean, they're more than capable of putting up 20 to 30 points themselves. Um, but I also like the Seattle Seahawks money line. Pretty confident as well at home. You get an addition to the offense, a big one at that, with Rashid Shaheed. And then Cardinals, yeah, Jacoby Brissett has been looking pretty good, but I mean, it's I feel like it's an only a matter of time type of thing. Against
Yeah.
a Seattle team that's been really good. Again, we're talking about the number one ranked team going into this week. Give me the Seahawks at home.
Yeah, the Cardinals are in a tough spot. I feel like right now with this Kyler Murray situation because to be honest with you, I don't even think the team really wants Kyler Murray to come back. And I think he's hurt, but I don't know what the extent of that injury is, and or if they're just holding him out because they're just going to end up putting Jacoby Brissett in there. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the Cardinals have played better with Jacoby Brissett in there. Defensively, they've been an okay unit all year, but I think just with the offensive help, that only can help their defense more. And actually, at home, I was just gonna read this off. The Seahawks have not been the best team at home. It's weird to say that because before the Seattle has been the alleged 12th man, if you will, but they've been a pretty like kind of a subpar team at home. They're just 2-2 at home this year, so. Their only 2 losses came at home. So, yeah, did you say you like the over?
I do.
Yeah, I like the over as well.
And it's 45. It's
So
actually kind of on the lower side. I mean, The
Yeah,
next
I'll
game with
go
no
ahead.
Jaden Daniels is higher than that. So
Yeah, since you said that, I'll probably make that a final play. Just because I did like that, and I just think it's a spot where both teams can come in and score points, and these are two division teams too. I mean, they're both playing pretty good football right now. I have to think that both teams are going to put up some number, put up a decent number here.
yeah, I'm putting. I know it's a money line parlay. I'm putting the over in the money line parlay. It's like I did. I've done that a couple of times just uh, for
From a
kicks and
pick side, I
shiggles.
like the Seahawks just because I still think they're the better team, but I do like. I think my favorite bet is definitely the over.
Next game. Well, I'll start with player props. For that Seattle game, Jackson Smith Njigba. He didn't get a touchdown last week. It was, um, what's his name? Got two of them. That's the Troy Holton. Um, I think JSN gets a touchdown this week. Uh, but yeah, we can move right on to the next game. I just wanted to throw that in
Yeah,
there. Uh, Detroit Lions at the Commanders.
Lions are laying 8.5 on the road. And I frankly, I frankly agree with it. I don't know about you, but this feels like a spot where somebody used a great analogy earlier that I was watching. This feels like a fly on the windshield, and you take your hand and you just smash that bitch.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
smash the fuck out of that fly. Um, yeah, I don't see how
yeah.
the
Coming
Lions
off of
keep
a
it close.
division game loss, like I expected the Lions to come back swinging. Um,
I don't see how the Commanders keep it close, especially with no Jaden Daniels. Yeah, Marcus Mariota isn't a huge step down, but what have we seen from that offense this year? It's just been constantly downhill. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Later than
yeah,
minus 8.5.
I don't even want to go any further.
Pretty
I
much
added the
that,
money
right?
line because I mean it's minus 520, but just for the parlay, I'm adding the money line.
Anything Lions, you're good. I don't mind any passing props. I think this Commanders secondary is pretty bad. This is a secondary that's relying on Marshawn Lattimore. The dude's like 33 years old and he's like terrible. Um,
I
I
like
just
yeah. Jared Goff for 2+ touchdowns could probably
like
get a pretty good um odd for that. So I don't hate that.
yeah, I like the Lions all day here. So we can move on, I guess. Rams 49ers. Rams are laying minus 5.5 on the road.
Yeah, jeez,
Uh,
what's up with that line? What the hell?
Let me look at the injuries really quick. I know we kind of skipped a couple, but
I
those are
mean, I
kind of
don't think injuries are going to do much to the Lions
some of the
game.
games. Yeah, Lions don't. It really doesn't
Who the
matter.
hell cares?
Um, I just had it up here. It keeps going away. All right. So for the Rams, we have actually for the Rams, really not much. Just Jordan Whittington, which I don't really know if
He's
that makes
their
a
like
huge
third
difference.
string
Um,
receiver.
and then for the 49ers, it's quite a lengthy one. We got, and not to mention all their IR guys, but we got Ricky Pearsall, he's out still. Mikael Williams, he's out. I don't know who that is. He's at the end. Brock Purdy's still out. Seems like they've kind of moved on. I think they're kind of in on Mac Jones at this point, anyways. And then they have a bunch of questionables, just a lot of questionable guys. So um, yeah, and I guess it's not even worth mentioning those because they're all questionable. So um, yeah, honestly, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How do you feel about this game? I don't. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about this game.
Well, I know the Rams struggle when it comes to the 49ers for some reason. Like, even though, in my opinion, they are heavily the better team, they do tend to struggle against the 49ers, especially in San Francisco. Like, for some reason, that's like their kryptonite. Um, but overall, if I'm going into it, the Rams should win this game. They have heavily the better team. They're way healthier. You said it. You just
Yeah,
by going
they've
over.
been playing better football
Yeah, they've been
recently,
playing
right?
great. Like Really
Um,
the Rams should blow the 49ers out of the water. But again, for some reason, specifically the 49ers, and no matter what state the 49ers are in, it is like their kryptonite. Um, but which is why I'm not going to parlay it, just because of that. But my pick is with the Rams. I mean, handily, it should be. They
yeah.
are indeed the better team, no matter how you look at it. Um, I do think Puka finds the end zone. He hasn't found the end zone since before his injury. I think maybe he had a rushing touchdown, but outside of that, no receiving touchdowns for him. It's all been Devontae Adams. He's had a couple of like multiple touchdown games. I think that changes here. Um, that's about the only thing I got is a touchdown for Puka.
Yeah, yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that. Yeah, and it seems like all the
I don't
other
hate the
lines for
under
this
either.
game.
I don't see this game going to 50 points.
It seems like
Um,
yeah, it seems like all the other lines on this game are kind of, as far as the receiving props, they're all just really juiced. So you never know. I mean, if they're up 14 in this game, they might just decide to run the ball and
I mean,
just
there's teams
try to
with like the
run the
certain
clock. So,
publicity that no matter how they look, and I'll even get into it because there's another team we're going to cross in the next few. That's the same way. But the 49ers are one of those teams that, like, no matter what state they're in, their lines are always juiced because they're just a very marketable team. And the 49ers are obviously one of the more marketed teams in the NFL. Um, it's just, yeah, ugh,
yeah, I
yucky.
don't know if I. Yeah, I think I'd like the Rams, but I'm not sure if I'll play it as far as
Yeah,
that. But
again,
I think I'm on the side of the Rams.
yeah,
We can move on. Steelers, Chargers. This is going to be a good game. Actually, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm on the Steelers. What are you? Who are you with? Who are you on?
I also like the Steelers, and I also like the over for this game. Um, Steelers have, I mean, obviously their offense isn't bad by any means. Their defense is hit and miss. Um, they can beat the beat the Colts, and then they almost lost to the Vikings one week when they were struggling with Carson Wentz. It's hit and miss with them. Um, but the Chargers, they can definitely move the ball. Their defense is also not great. Also, a lot of injuries on the Chargers defense, but they can definitely move the ball. So I don't hate the over for this game. Um, I'm obviously leaning Chargers at home. Um, tough spot though, but the over is very. I really like the over. I'll probably end up playing that.
Yeah, my issue with this one is I think the Steelers defense is pretty decent. I think specifically their front seven is pretty decent. Um, the Chargers have been dealing with injuries on that front, that offensive front all year. We've been going over that almost all season, and they're no healthier this week. So the thing is that Justin Herbert really, for the most part of this season, he's played well in some games, but there's other games where he's just running around, and it feels like it almost feels like a chicken with his head cut off. It's like and not necessarily making terrible decisions all the time, but it just feels like he's running around and he really doesn't have too much help. And when you look at the receivers, I mean, what are we really looking at? Lad McConkey is their number one receiver, and after that, who are we really looking at? Keenan Allen has really not been like he had an okay first couple of weeks, but again, he's an older receiver, and I've said this over and over again. As time goes on throughout the NFL season, the NFL season is a long season, and it is draining. For anybody that plays in the NFL, and especially for guys that are 30 over the age of 30 at the wide receiver position, the position that requires the most skill or some of the most skill. So, I just at the end of the day, I just don't think the receivers on the Chargers, and I don't think their offense is going to have enough depth and talent to really make a big push at the end of the day. So I just think the Steelers are a little bit better put together. Aaron Rodgers has been playing good football, not turning over the football, smart football. And I think this team, I think the Steelers know who they are right now. Whereas it feels like the Chargers are panicking a little bit, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think the Steelers can
And I don't
win.
understand why it's minus three. I mean, because they're at home, okay. But I just minus three just feels like too much for like why would I don't see why else I would be playing minus three with the Chargers at this point.
Yeah. So my one pick for this game that I'm probably gonna end up playing is a DK Metcalf touchdown. He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 6. I think this is a perfect spot to do it. Um, so yeah, that's
I don't
probably my
mind that.
favorite
I
player
don't mind
prop.
that. Yeah, yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, I think the Steelers. I mean, they should be able to put up some points here. Yeah, I don't think they'd go out there and smack them, but just it's hard to see. Like it just feels like the Chargers have been one of those teams, and everybody knows it, that are just up and down. You never know when they're gonna, sell the bag, and it feels like they win games that they shouldn't, and then at least sometimes, and they lose games that they absolutely should win. So it just feels like they lose a lot more than they win. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So, uh,
Last game
big
of the
one.
week.
Next game is going to be a big one. I'll say it quickly. I'm on the Eagles.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start off with this. How the hell are the Eagles not favored in this game? I'm gonna break this down for you. You ready for this? Packers just came off of a 13-point loss. They scored 13 points against the Panthers in a loss, right?
Yeah,
They have been very, very on it. Like they have been super inconsistent, especially on offense. Especially on offense. Whereas the Eagles, the last couple of weeks before their bye, looked like the defending world champ Eagles. They really came into their part. And you even saw Saquon Barkley get it going, had a 150-yard game. Um, Jalen Hurts had a perfect passer rating against the Vikings defense, which is a very good defense.
mm,
Um, how the hell are they not? How the hell are they not favored in this game? And this is where I was saying about the 49ers. They're just a heavily marketed team, and this is another one. Packers are obviously a very heavily marketed team, so they like tend to skew the odds. No matter how the team looks, they just skew the odds in their favor every time. So
yeah,
yeah, I love the Eagles for plus money. I'm taking that all day, especially with all the acquisitions they made before the trade deadline. I mean, yeah, Jair Alexander didn't look great on the Ravens, but he's not our first or second best cornerback, so don't worry about that. And he's definitely a step up from a Dory Jackson and Kaylee Ringo. Um, geez, I mean, Tyler, you are probably a step up from them too. So again, and then Jalen Phillips, who yes, he has injuries, but he's not injured now, and when he's healthy, he is an absolute tank. How the hell are they? I don't get it. Plus money all freaking day, dude. All freaking day.
yeah. I really don't think, maybe besides week one where the Packers
And Jair
played the
Alexander's
Lions.
back in Green Bay. I mean,
I
you're
really
asking
don't
for
think
it.
there's been one week where the Packers have not played to the level of their competition, and and a lot of times they're losing these games. They went to OT and they tied against the Cowboys, literally against the worst defense in the league. They kept it close against another very bad defense in the league in the Bengals the very week after. This team just, I mean, until we see it, why the hell would you want to play the Packers at a favorite price? I mean, I would not even want to be looking at that side. Um,
Yeah,
and
there's a
yeah,
couple
I
other
mean,
factors. Like one, again, like I said, Jair Alexander is back in Green Bay. Again, you're talking about uh, how good he was in Green Bay. There's a definite chance that he has some decent, couple of decent plays here and there, just to get at him. And I know a lot of people are going to probably look at Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons being in the same division for 2 seasons, 3 seasons, whatever it was. I will tell you, Michael Parsons did not do great against the Eagles in all the games they played. I think since Michael Parsons went to Dallas, I think Dallas won maybe one game against the Eagles, and Michael Parsons was not really much of a factor throughout that time. And a lot of the credit goes to Jalen Hurts because he's obviously really good at getting out of the pocket. Um, but like, yeah,
Well,
I
it's going to
mean,
be about running the football. It's going to be about running the
and the
football.
last time the Eagles played Green Bay Packers in the regular season was last season, and Saquon Barkley had a 3 touchdown game.
Right. So if he has a good game, they continue. He's looked better over the last couple weeks. I don't see why. I mean, I think the books are just going to continue to think the Packers are a good team because Micah Parsons and the Packers have always been a marketable team. I think they're one of those teams almost like the Lakers for football. They're just always a heavily favored team because they're usually expected to be good. And I mean, the Packers just simply have not looked as good as what they're supposed to be. So I'm not. There's no way in hell I'm playing the Packers. It'll be Eagles all day for me. And I'll probably play them on the money line.
Yeah, just think of it this way: the Packers'
Yeah.
marketability is causing all of the sports book apps and like betting apps to give you a free gift here. This is a free gift at plus money for the Eagles. Take it.
Yeah, I mean it's just a simple thing. I mean the line I think is just uh, it's just because I think the books just have this Packers team as a good team, and
Every week.
I think they have it as a close game. But ultimately, I don't think they definitely shouldn't be as heavily favored as they are. And that's why the Eagles are getting 80% of the bets right now. I mean, they're getting 80% of the money line value here. So 80% of the people that are placing bets on the money line are placing them on the Eagles. So yeah,
Yeah, consider it a holiday gift. Um,
yeah, I think it's just a free gift basically.
yeah.
I don't know, but
Definitely taking Saquon for a touchdown, I think. Yeah, I think that's probably my number one player prop for this one.
all right.
Yeah, so just to wrap it up, I have my little best slip here. It's a 6 pick parlay. Um, Starting off with the Bills money line, Chicago Bears money line, Panthers money line, Detroit Lions money line. I have the over for the Cardinals and Seahawks game and the Eagles money line, which comes out to a 6 pick parlay for plus 993. Um, which I'll probably end up playing this. Not gonna lie, I might even throw my parlay boost on it.
That's not bad.
No, it's not. I actually plus 993, dude. Shit. And a lot of these are like no brainer. Like the Bills, I feel like that's a no brainer. And Detroit Lions, I don't even need to say more. And I'm pretty confident that the Cardinals and Seahawks game will go over 46 points, or 45 points, technically. And then the Eagles. I still can't believe the Eagles are underdogs here. It's unbelievable to me. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I said,
I mean,
it's
just
just
taking the.
because
I
it's
mean,
the
if the
Packers.
season hadn't even started yet, and you just look at the last week of activity, it should tell you the Eagles. I mean,
They
forget
know. They
Jair
know.
Alexander. Forget him. We can take him out of the equation.
I
How
think it
much?
will be a close game, though. I'm not like I don't think the Eagles are going to be like I don't think the Eagles are going to go out there and smack them. But I do think the Eagles win the game. I'm on the Eagles here.
Yeah. So 6 picks plus 993. I'll probably end up throwing that in with a parlay boost and make it above 1,000. Uh, yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the picks and bets part. I don't really have too many open bets right now. I am going to play the Rico Dowdle money line touchdown, and actually, I'll probably do the same thing with James Cook. James Cook anytime touchdown money line. Just pair those two together, get plus odds. And actually, I don't even mind taking Bijan, James Cook, and Rico Dowdle, all three of those guys, and just put a unit on that. Um, Other than that, I don't really have too many ideas right now, but that's where I'm looking right now as far as bets. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to mention?
No, I think wraps it up.
All right. Yeah. It's been a good week. We'll keep hopefully doing these. Either Saturday or Thursday. Today's Saturday. Um, yeah. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, any bets, any plays, anything that we say that you guys agree or disagree with. It'd be awesome to see and hear. And I guess with that, good luck, and we'll see kind of what happens this week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
All right. Peace.